Joining me now from Fort Worth, Texas, Tarrant County Sheriff Bill Waybourn. Sheriff, what we saw in Compton is a reminder of how dangerous it is out there for our men and women who serve in law enforcement and put their lives on the line every single day.
Absolutely. That what happened out there, that ambush could have been in any town USA. It just happened to be LA County this time. And I urge and continue to urge all officers out there on the street to keep their head on a swivel. And it's a 580-degree battlefield. A lot of times they have to watch their back all the time.
What was the reaction among your sheriff's deputies after hearing the news?
Well, certainly they had concern for the officers that were shot, but absolutely, I think the predominant thing is just anger, where we're at the level of rhetoric and the feelings toward law enforcement. How in the last few months that this left-wing agenda has been able to define us as bad people, and we know that they are a minority, that they're a small group, but yet here they are. And so I think anger, there was anger about the attack on the officers, because there's nothing more than a terrorist attack.
Yeah, and as we saw, one of the officers, a mother and a hero as well, taking care of somebody while she was shot. I mean, it says a lot. And this gunman, they still haven't been able to find him. No one knows anything about this person.
Well, and I saw Alex, this good sheriff out there, who's a colleague and a friend, and I think he's doing a good job. And they put together a pretty good team, and I believe that they will get the bad guy. And just to comment on that deputy, our librarian deputy, as she is she pressed on, incredible courage, helping her partner, saving her partner, and absolutely a true hero. She didn't stop. God bless her.
What did you think about the city manager of Los Angeles who's been put on administrative leave? He wrote something pretty sickening, disgusting, disgraceful on his personal Instagram post after the officers were shot. He says the chickens come home to roost.
That type of rhetoric, and it defines him as being a part of the terrorist group that attacked these officers. And I don't know what else to call those guys that want to do that. And I would hope that he would be drummed out of city government and possibly the United States. These people are anti-United States, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's kind of stunning that he's just on a paid administrative leave. Like, why is he even getting city dollars, if you will? And he's not the only one. I have video of Congresswoman Ilhan Omar right after the sheriff deputies were shot, and she's talking about defunding the police. Roll tape.
Majority of the people in Minneapolis don't trust the Minneapolis police. And when you have an institution that has lost the trust of the people it's supposed to serve, then you have to make a big decision on what you do with that institution. And for so many of us, it is going through a process of dismantling that institution and coming together as a community to reimagine what public safety looks like.
When she says, like, reimagine public safety, what is she thinking? I mean, it's not like we live in a world of, like, rainbows and lollipops. I mean, if there were no criminals, we wouldn't have to worry about it.
You're exactly right. But we need to keep in mind that this is the first part of the agenda of the socialist movement, is to defund the police. Because if they tear down our interior defenders to rebuild it what they want it to look like, then they're in control. And that's what this is about. This isn't about that there's anything wrong with the police. It's about power play by that socialist organization.
Yeah, and in your state, Governor Greg Abbott, he has signed a pledge supporting police. He opposes any efforts to defund police departments. And then we have the mayor of Austin. He says, his name's Steve Adler. He's saying that, like, oh, we're not really defunding the police. We're just moving money around. Is there really a difference?
There's absolutely no difference. And by the way, I joined Governor Abbott in that pledge, and we signed on to it, and we appreciate his leadership in that arena. Is that, no, this mayor's playing games. Is they took $100 million away from the police budget. They defunded the police.
Yeah, I mean, it's a scam. But what is their excuse? What's his reason? He's saying something like, oh, well, we're moving it to, like, mental health and this and that. But that's not your role. Like, that's not your role, is to deal with mental health. And so when they take away money from your department to add to something else, which is fine if they have the resources for that, but why take away from police departments or from the sheriff's department?
That's exactly right. For instance, here in Tarrant County, we have funded a mental health organization that is embedded with law enforcement right now and responding to issues, to high-risk issues, and we've been doing that for a while here. What they're doing there is playing the shell game, because we don't want a social worker who is a mental health person answering a domestic where there's a raging person there with a weapon or the ability to hurt them. They're not equipped to handle that. They need law enforcement there. They need to also raise up that mental health issue above and beyond what they're doing in law enforcement.
Yeah, and most of these people, like 99% of them, maybe more, who are coming up with these ideas and restructuring policing and this and that, they've never been in your shoes one time. Like, they don't know what it's like to respond to that domestic violence call or to pull over that person who is completely intoxicated and out of their mind.
Absolutely. And I would encourage those people, those elitists, to go get in a squad car and spend 8 hours with an officer, maybe 10 hours with an officer, anywhere in the United States. And I believe it'll change their mind and open their eyes. If not, they're being dishonest.
Yeah, and what we saw in Compton isn't a unique story. I'm just reading here in Chicago, police officers have been shot so many times this year, 35 shootings and at least 10 murders. This is what it says here, targeted 5 times more than years prior as a crime surge continues.
That is correct. These cities that allow lawlessness, it just continues to rise. And people believe that they can get away with anything. And Chicago's on that list. Unfortunately, LA's on that list. And I fear for the law enforcement officers that are standing on that thin blue line and boldly doing it, even though the political will of the people in the government is not standing behind them.
Yeah, and it's becoming more dangerous, not only for law enforcement, but just for regular citizens as they continue to attack our police officers. Well, we're going to have to leave it here, Sheriff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.